Hey everybody, welcome once again to 180 Ministry Solutions. I am glad that you decided to jump into the second video, and I want to dive into the 8 phases or 8 stages to getting your board to lead at a higher level. So first and foremost, I'm going to touch on onboarding. If we cannot get our people to come on board and to buy into what we're trying to do, for them to lead at a higher level, it's going to be useless. So first and foremost, we have to get our people to be on board. Our board needs to be on board. When they're on board, then we transition into the assessing stage. There are many times that the board sees leadership through a certain lens, and leadership will see the board through a different lens. And we need to assess that and to see what implications exist and why it is that they think that maybe some individuals are stepping beyond the boundaries, which sometimes these boundaries are not even existent. This then leads us into a reconciliation stage. I know many of us are saying, well, but we're so mature and so on and so forth. Well, there needs to be reconciliation. How many times is there an issue with the board and the way they feel in relation to either the senior pastor, senior leadership, the executive director of the organization, and vice versa? And this creates a lot of friction. This creates a lot of stress and strain within the organization. So there just needs to be a time of reconciliation between all these parties. After reconciliation, we have to set boundaries and safeguards. There needs to be boundaries for each one to work in. God has equipped us for the work of the ministry, and He has also given us the privilege of being His body. And His body means that each one has his or her own function. So boundaries must be created so that each one can be efficient and effective. Then we need to step into the 5th stage, which is the vision and the mission. If there is no vision and there is no mission, your organization is just going to be like a fish out of water. It's trying to swim, it's trying to live, but it's not getting anywhere. It's going to eventually probably just fade away and die. And we don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to hone in on what the vision is. We want to make sure that we got a good mission. Who are we? What's our DNA? And when we have that done, then we are ready to jump into our strategy. What are we going to do to make our vision come to pass? How will that come to fruition and get our people on the mission that we have decided that God has given us for our congregations and for our parachurch organizations? But to have a strategy, there must be a vision and mission. Strategy comes into play, and now you need a structure to support that strategy. Bad structure will produce friction in your strategy. It will be very difficult for your strategy to come to pass. And then you're going to have to be revisiting, and you're going to eventually have to change strategy because of your structure, which in reality, your structure, listen again, your structure is the one that's going to provide the platform for your strategy to come and bring your vision and mission to pass. So vision and mission, your strategy is to make that happen, and your structure provides the foundation for all of that to happen. So when you have your structure, you have your strategy, you have your vision and mission, you have your boundaries, reconciliation, your assessments, and then after you've onboarded, now your board is ready to lead at a higher level. And as they lead at a higher level, they're going to do it through strategy, and they're going to do it through oversight. So as they do it through strategy and oversight, it frees the senior pastor, it frees senior leadership, and it frees, if it's a parachurch organization, your executive director for them to manage the organization. See, the board doesn't manage the organization. He just makes sure that the organization is managed well. Guys, that was all of it in a nutshell. I know that went by very quick. So our first is onboarding, our second is assessing, our third is reconciliation, our fourth is our boundaries and safeguards, then followed by the fifth, which is our vision and mission. When we have that set, we jump into our strategy. Our strategy leads us to a great organizational structure, and from there, we're ready for what? Board to lead at a higher level through strategy and oversight as the executive team, as the executive pastor, as the executive director manages the organization. Thanks for your time. I really hope you're interested in diving into all that God has for us so that your board can lead at a higher level, and we will see you